And ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the first game. Jesse has the overlay switched actually, so I would just like to know that if the hotkeys are working.
The overlay is not switched. Okay, the overlay has switched. We are in game.
Booyah! Spawning on the right side at the top. We do have the professional player, the one that is still active and not casting any games. It is in blue colors, Fnatic's Harstem.
And opposing him in the orange. He did give up playing for a while to become a professional analytic caster, but he has joined Root in May of last year, so he is practicing hard. He wants to win here. His name is RotterdaM!
Oh my god. I almost get nerdgasms every time you do that.
Hey, when you've got something good, you do not stop doing it.
Yep, that is absolutely true. They're just talking about the cross spawns, that they're not forced, but yeah. What do you know? They did spawn cross.
I'm getting some wonderful messages already from our audience, such as RIP headphone users.
That is true, because if someone is wearing headphones, this can actually disturb him quite a lot. With speakers, it's not such a big deal, but guys, you'll have to endure it. I mean, come on, those intros are fantastic.
There's a reason I'm called the vocal terrorist. That's at least half of it. The other half involves border controls in America, and we won't get into it on a professional cast.
Yeah, you'd have to, think about all the stuff that went down on the border in the past, and yeah.
Do you know what? I'm sad that this is our first map, okay? Because we're still in PvP at the moment. Neither player is switching out of their race yet because it's map number 1. But this is Antigua Shipyard with the gold minerals still in the middle. And sadly for us, as a PvP, when do you ever see a 4th base?
Almost never. Especially not in the center. I mean, you have to have a pretty good advantage to afford to build a base in the center. Fnatic Harstem's core just now finished, and RotterdaM is quite a bit early on that. He went for a really early gate this game, and yeah, Harstem is right. That is a really old build, and he will be just chrono boosting out Stalkers, putting on very early pressure. Maybe following this up with additional gateways. We'll have to see. I don't think it's likely though. I think this is just meant to scare Harstem into something, or just get a good scout off. And here we are, RotterdaM moving out.
Yeah, the question really is, how far is RotterdaM going to go with this? Is he just going to take the center of the map? Is he going to try and push up the ramp and see if he can scout that potential expansion, which of course, as we know, isn't going down? Instead going to be a fast rowboat into 2 gates.
Oh, we see a Twilight Council for Roti. I'm smelling Blink here, or maybe even DTs. We'll have to see, but most likely it's gonna be Blink.
It is, yeah, I would expect Blink. Antigua Shipyard, of course, such a nice map for Blink play. There's just so much area around that main base that with an observer, or just any kind of vision at all, you can just blink up there, pull your opponent apart if you desire. Oh, perfect scout there by RotterdaM. Sees that expansion going down, knows exactly what Harstem's plan is there. Oh, that's perfect for him.
Oh yeah, some Protoss players say that you can hold a 1-gate expand if you can micro. At least that's what Chad MF Jones says. I'm not entirely confident of that, and yes, Harstem has to cancel the firepower of 3 Stalkers just being a little bit too much. We do have the Blink on the way though, and we do have a Robo facility, and whoa, 3 additional gates, but I don't think that probe will be able to get out of there.
Oh man, so 3 more gates, Blink, Robo facility, Observer, Blink up into the main. Simple as. It's gonna take a lot from Harstem to defend this. He really wants that expansion, and if he can keep it up without losing his main, he'll be fine. But defending 2 points of entry against a player going such heavy Blink Stalkers, it's gonna be really difficult. I could see RotterdaM coming out strong in this first game.
Yep, we take a look at the harvest account, it's quite even. RotterdaM is prepared to move out, and you know, he's playing quite an old style. Not to blame him for it. I mean, even on the root side, he is listed as inactive, so might as well stick with what he remembers. But I do think that he also practiced for this show match, as he said yesterday on the show Pulse, that he does not want to be humiliated all that hard, so he did put some practice hours into this. And after this show match is done, Rotti is going to be preparing for Heart of the Swarm Open tournament, and he's going to be practicing hard. He wants to enter that as a competitor, not as a caster. And here we go, Rotti putting on some pressure, but not going to be successful versus 2 Immortals. That's just a no-go for him. And Harstem is just continuing with Robotics Bay as RotterdaM blinks up.
Yep, RotterdaM blinking into the main, but not able to do anything that much at the moment. He's scared of those Immortals. 3 Immortals out, which is the magic number for absolutely destroying both Roaches and Stalkers. So RotterdaM, I don't think actually going to do too much with this blink at the moment, as we already see he's starting to get the Robo Bay down and transition away from this.
Oh, 1, 2, 3 probes down. Rotti is doing a good job there, causing some economic damage, but Harstem splitting his units seems to me just right to defend versus this aggression. But you know, anytime Harstem's defending army is a little bit out of position, Rotti can just go in, snipe some probes, get out. He has more than enough Stalkers to do this, actually. He would need only 4, but he has way more here. And yet again, blinks out. Total probes killed 5. And the harvest count is actually even, but here's the thing. Harstem is getting his Colossi out already, and RotterdaM is kind of behind on that front.
Absolutely, it's Colossus is coming out already. Extended Thermal Lance is going to be ahead for Harstem, and also he's just got the Immortal lead. RotterdaM has 1 Immortal out before he wants to start Colossus production, and against these Stinkers that can do a lot. But another nice blink by RotterdaM, doing everything he can here to harass Harstem back.
Yeah, but this was not as successful as the previous harass. He's killing 2 more pros, but losing 2 Stalkers in the process. That was totally not a worthwhile exchange there for Rotti. And his first Colossus is coming out. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way, as you have said. Harstem just adding on his Ford right now, wants to get those upgrades rolling. I like how Rotti is being like aggressive here. He's all up in Harstem's face, trying to do as much as he can. That's a really nice trait in a player to have. Oh, a misblink there, losing 1 more Stalker to that defending army.
Yep, those were really nice force fields out of Harstem, making the Stalker's path around them so he could get extra Colossus and Immortal shots off on them. And we see Harstem add the second Robo facility. Wants to go double Robo, get out as many Colossus as he can, because we all know the rule of PvP is if you have more Colossus than your opponent, you will win the game.
Yep, and RotterdaM is going with the double Robo as well. He wants to even out the odds, trying to blink into the main yet again. But I think that Harstem just has too many units this time around, so that he can afford to split their army. And I think RotterdaM is just... Oh, beautiful job there by Rotti, killing almost 10 more probes before those 4 Stalkers are killed and disposed of. Of course, Harstem has perfect knowledge of where the rest of Kevin's army is. God, you know what? I just gotta stop saying Kevin.
I think we should just say Kevin more. I think that will lead to better clarification and a lot more fun.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin even has a pylon in the center of the map, and you know the other Kevin, the taller one, is going to take care of that momentarily.
You can tell he's taller because he's got more Colossus.
Yeah, he does. So, Rotti getting the charge right now. Harstem on the move, on the attack. +1 will be finishing. Nice timing for him. Hitting. Look at this. Attacking just when his +1 finishes. He's going to have a really powerful army. I mean, 4 Colossi, 3 Immortals, and a 3rd base being taken? Oh, this is not a kill move. I mean, he could be successful here, though.
Absolutely. Oh, nice force fields. Trapping those 2 Immortals, though. So that is really, really good move by RotterdaM, and Harstem is forced back. He didn't want to commit to this too much. His Colossus count was lower than RotterdaM simply because his fourth Colossus had to walk the entire map, and Antigua Shipyard is not a small map. So I think he was actually wise going for that third base rather than trying to go for a kill move there. Just make sure your opponent hasn't taken his third base, and you give him a reason not to push out for a short while.
Yeah, and that was a really good trade for RotterdaM. I mean, he did not lose almost any zealots there, and he picked off 2 immortals of his opponent. That will make the survivability of his own Colossi bigger. He should take care of this proxy pylon. Yes, he is right on it and should be taking a third base as well. Because, you know, seeing that Harstem backed off, he has to know that he expanded behind this pressure, but the Colossi numbers are growing, and this time I'm not entirely sure that Rotti will be able to hold. 2 more Colossi are coming out. He has to wait for those and before he engages. Oh, I don't think this is a smart move. Harstem gets the first shot.
Harstem, of course, with the upgrade advantage, still with +1 attack, with nothing for RotterdaM, and he's just going to absolutely crush his way through this army. And the fact is, he'll be walking away from this with Colossus. This is so close. He needs to keep his Colossus alive, though.
Wow.
This is something he cannot afford to do. RotterdaM absolutely just managing to crush his way through that, and now Harstem's Colossus are in danger.
One of them is solo and goes down. And now it's a micro battle between 5 Colossi versus, well, 2. And RotterdaM GG's. That was an overextension by him and loses him the first game. I wonder if he switches races. Maybe that will bring him luck.